Hey everyone, welcome to Science-Based Fitness. Thanks for checking out the channel. Today I'm going to break down a lower body workout that you can do right at home. You don't need any equipment. I simply used a backpack. I filled it with some books just to add a little bit of weight. I want to have something that people can do at home simply if you don't have time to make it to the gym. As of filming this, we're still in a pandemic with the coronavirus. So hopefully going forward, maybe this can be a workout you can just sneak in if you got 15-20 minutes. I'm gonna break down each exercise, how to do it, and give you some justifications on why I chose those exercises. Now, these aren't the most advanced exercises, but they're still good enough to give you a good stimulus to those muscles, still stimulate some hypertrophy, some growth, some strength, at least help you not lose any of your gains if you've been an avid gym goer over the past few years and you're stuck at home. Hopefully this is something that might be able to help you out. So let's get right into it. Exercise 1A is going to be a traditional squat. Now in this exercise, I'm simply squatting down, trying to get my thighs parallel with the ground. Now, if this is challenging for you, you don't have to necessarily get that low, just it's something to strive for. I could have taken a couple steps back and used the actual couch as something to squat down to, basically making this a box squat. For a beginner, that's probably more ideal. Now, I think I hit 20 reps on this for 3 sets. 20 reps is probably the most you'd want to go. I'd recommend adding a little bit more weight in if 20 is easy, but maybe 15-20 reps I would recommend shooting for. Now exercise 1B here, I'm simply doing a calf raise. This can be done leaning against a wall. If you have like a yoga block or something, you can put at the front of your feet, so the front half of your foot is on this. It can actually elicit a larger range of motion and target those calves a little bit more effectively. For those who don't have something like this style of a calf raise, where we just put one foot behind our leg, it can make it significantly more challenging for those who find it too simple. Now 3 sets of that for roughly 15 to 20 reps. If you're doing one side and can only hit 10, we want to make sure we're challenging ourselves, but we're not going to be too fatigued. Moving on. Exercise 2A is a lunge. Here we're lunging in place. If you want to lunge across the room, you can. That's up to you if you have the space. For this version here, I'm just using the backpack as my resistance. On this exercise, I believe I hit 24 reps, so 12 on each side. And we're hitting our quads, our glutes, our hamstrings. Focus on control. The speed is not super crucial here. I'd rather have you take your time and focus on the control through the movement than to be worried about the reps. 3 sets on this, and then we're going to move on to exercise 2B. Exercise 2B is going to be hip thrusts. Now for this, I'm going to take the backpack off, lay on the ground. Now I could have put the backpack on my hips as another way to make this more challenging, but I figured it'd be a little bit easier to see without it on. Reduce the angle where your knees are to lower than 90 degrees. Basically, my tibia is straight up and down, perpendicular with the ground. And we're going to thrust our hips into the air. Squeeze through those glutes. If you want to do a slight pause at the top, that can be beneficial. You want to focus on the muscle to mind connection in the glutes and actually squeeze through those glutes. If you find this too simple, a single-legged hip thrust might be more beneficial or more ideal for you. Just like this, make sure you hit both sides, same amount of reps. Exercise 3A is going to be stiff-legged deadlifts. I think it's tough to challenge your hamstrings sometimes, and this is one of the best exercises, in my opinion, at targeting these hamstrings. I want to focus on not rounding my lower back. I tell people, think about pushing your butt backwards as you drop down towards your toes. Not everyone has the flexibility in their hamstrings to do this exercise, so try to get the range of motion that you can. If you're finding this too challenging, maybe work on some hamstring stretches instead of trying to strain this muscle. Now I tell people to go a little bit slower on your way down and then control up, typically a 1, 2, 3 count on the way down and a 1, 2 up. Some people will go really fast with this. I think when we do that, we rely too much on what's known as the stretch shortening cycle, and we take away from the benefit of actually challenging these hamstrings and controlling with these hamstrings. About 12 to 15 reps, 3 sets. And then moving on. All right, side lying hip abduction. I've shown this probably, I think this is the third time in a few of my videos. So pretty straightforward, lying on our side. If you have a band or something, that can make this more challenging. But when we keep that knee straight, we're actually increasing the length of the lever, and it's making this more challenging on our glute medius muscle. That's gonna lead to greater levels of fatigue. So keep that in mind while doing this. Make sure we target both sides, and good. All right, if you guys are still here, we're at our final exercise. We're just gonna do a simple wall sit. Now I'm lucky here where the armrest on my chair is strong enough and leaning against a wall, so I can actually just use that armrest on the chair as a wall to sit at. You can use a door, make sure it doesn't open the opposite direction you're leaning, especially if there's stairs behind it. I only did 30 seconds for 3 sets, but if you wanna go for a minute, that is a lot more challenging. It's a great way to fatigue out these quads at the end of the workout through an isometric hold just like this. And this should have taken you it took me about 18.5 minutes. So somewhere between 15 to 20 minutes, depending on your rest time. Now I'm gonna recommend in all these exercises 3 sets for 15 reps, but this is gonna vary depending upon your fitness level, how much you already exercise. Someone that exercises quite often can hit a 4th or 5th set. They can hit more reps or heavier weights. So there's so many variables. For someone that's fairly new, I'm gonna recommend 2 or 3 sets if you're just starting out. For those who are moderate level trainees who go to the gym, 2 or 3 times a week, I would recommend 3 or 4 sets for 15 reps, maybe 20 if you wanna push it a little bit harder. We want to make sure though, if this is the type of workout you're going to do frequently, that you're adding some level of increasing resistance or intensity, some way to actually overload this exercise to make it more challenging, to provide a stimulus to that muscle. If we just constantly do this exact same workout with the same reps, same weight, same everything, we're not going to be giving a good enough stimulus to our muscle. We don't have to be in the gym for 2 hours every day. That's why I create these videos, so we can utilize our time more efficiently, create a better workout strategy in less time. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, click like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy your day.